Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm, okay? So like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things, okay? I wanted to talk about a story that I ran across that about a student, a school aide, was fired for torturing and beating autistic children. Okay. It happened in Little John, Colorado. I want to get straight to the video. Um, I had the opportunity to kind of read up on read the story, and y'all, it is absolutely sad on so many levels. And already we got people that is wanting to try and excuse what has happened, right? And so I think we need to talk about this, okay?
The young boy want you to see in hopes that it'll force change. Their son gets beaten on a school bus. Now, an aide on that bus, Kiara Jones, faces assault charges. This family feels Littleton School District didn't do enough when they first started noticing injuries on their son. Good evening, I'm Mikaela White.
And I'm Michael Spencer. The parents wanted to share their story and the video with your reporter, Kelly Worthman, who joins us now live in studio.
And Kelly, that video is so difficult to watch.
Yes, it is. And the parents want to know, if that doesn't make you angry, what will? You have fractured bones, a knocked out tooth, deep bruises, and immeasurable heartache. Those are just some of the injuries to at least 3 students, allegedly at the hands of a woman trusted to care for them. The kids take a special bus provided by the Littleton school system to get to one of Colorado's most highly regarded private schools for students with autism. Yet, as their parents discovered, they say that bus was a place of torture.
My sweet and loving son.
Fighting back tears, a father is overwhelmed with emotion, almost unable to share the unthinkable that his little boy endured on the way to school.
Had been being beaten.
His 10-year-old son, Dax, has severe autism and is nonverbal, so he couldn't tell his parents that the caretaker he sits next to on the bus punches, jabs, stomps, and smacks him.
The torture and torment of my sweet boy could have been stopped.
Dax's mom says she noticed strange bumps and bruises on her son months ago, but Littleton Public Schools told her there was nothing to be concerned about. Then her son's injuries became worse, and that's what led to her obtaining this disturbing video of her son's unprovoked assault on March 18th.
How could someone that I trusted, someone that I was so friendly with, do this to my little boy?
In a letter to district families, the superintendent says an internal investigation began March 19th, and they notified police. It led to the arrest of 29-year-old Kiara Jones and the unsettling discovery the paraprofessional was allegedly abusing other kids like Dax.
My son does not have the ability to tell me when someone's hurting him. My son does not have the ability to tell me that he was forced to watch someone hurt his friends.
Now, parents of 3 young students are prepared to sue, saying Littleton Public Schools knew about their abuse concerns for months and seemingly turned a blind eye.
They had everything they needed to stop it faster, and they did. These children have been traumatized and tortured because they failed them.
A failure, Jess says, that's blatantly obvious in this alarming video, one she's sharing without blurring her son's face to show what her son could not say.
It's ugly to look at, but it's important to see how confused and afraid he was in that video.
So one thing we're going to keep looking into is how the investigations played out. Both Englewood Police, the police department, and the school district all saying today they've been investigating for weeks and do worry about other victims. But they didn't make any public statements until today. However, these parents, Mac and Michael, have been raising concerns since September.
And Kelly, we know you've been looking into this extensively. Is this the only case?
Well, sadly, it's not. Littleton is actually the 3rd known district to have similar cases. There was another in Poudre Valley School District, as well as the St. Vrain School District, all involving students with disabilities on their school buses. In the St. Vrain case, both the bus aide and the bus driver were convicted. So, Mikaela, again, this is something we're going to keep a close eye on.
Okay, you guys, that is extremely sad. I ran across another article that basically gives a little bit more detail on this lady. This is the school bus driver, 29 years old. This is the autistic, one of the autistic children that she was, hitting on. And before anybody say, well, they're just going after her because she's black. Oh, okay. And her black ass got to go to jail. Okay. You know why? Because if it was our children and I'm African American and my child was being hit on like that by her or any other race, I would be raising a damn roof. Okay. So we can't give her excuses just because she's black and the children are white. That never should have happened. Those are children and those are special needs children. Okay, we got to cut this shit out as it relates to people talking about, well, they're gonna stick it to her because she black. They should stick it to her whether she was black, purple, orange, or whatever. Okay, you hear people say, well, she got some mental issues going on. Well, she didn't have no damn business on the bus with those kids. Okay, she probably should have, been at the crazy house. If she's got mental issues, she had no right to be hitting on anybody's child. And any black person, right, could share the same sentiments that I do if it was their children. Would it have been better or worse if they were black kids? No, those are children. Those are human beings. And they're special needs children. So we cannot give her an excuse. It says a Colorado school bus aide lost her job after surveillance video showed her abusing, traumatizing defenseless autistic children. Her name is Kiara Jones, was hired as a school bus aide in August of 2023 after passing a satisfactory background check. Nonverbal students on her bus suffered broken bones and their teeth were knocked out. Okay, so just going deeper into the investigation, because that video that I was just showing, that was reported the other day. This is an updated situation right here. And into looking deeper into the situation, they've suffered broken bones and teeth and stuff knocked out at the hands of this lady. Okay. It says several parents complained to Littleton Public Schools officials last year, but nothing was done. Of course, we heard the parents said that they had everything they needed to stop it faster, and they didn't do that. Of course, they have their attorney and all of that. She was arrested. Okay, she was arrested on April 4th and released from the Arapahoe County Jail on a $5,000 bond on April the 5th. It says Jones faces crimes against at-risk juveniles, third-degree assault, and crimes against at-risk juvenile injury. Okay, so they're already treating it like it's a joke. Third-degree anything is a joke. I mean, sometimes a misdemeanor aid will give you more time than a third-degree felony. Okay, so she got out. She had a $5,000 bond. Okay, and so that means she paid $500 to get out of jail. And so before people start saying, well, if it was that serious, why did they give her a low bond? Well, we saw her hitting the children. They just trying to stick it to her because she's a black woman, and they need to stick it to her because we saw what she was doing to those children. You heard them say that these children suffered broken bones and teeth and stuff knocked out. And because these children could not verbalize, these are autistic kids that couldn't talk. Okay. And I already know it's going to be a sick person to say, well, they just showed just a little bit of what did the child do before she hit them. Okay. We know it's twisted people on the internet, but she had no right to do that to those children. And the mere fact that she had a $5,000 bond is crazy, but the parents are going to get paid. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're going to get paid, and I think that they should, because if they have been complaining and the school system did nothing, then they need to get paid, and they're going to. Okay, they're going to. But I found, I remember when I used to take my children to the daycare, and we have to pay close attention to kids. when I was going to college, you know, my kids were 1, 2, and 3 years old or whatever, however old they were. And because they went to the daycare until they was about 3, because then they started going to preschool at 4. But hey, whenever they went to several, I paid close attention to them, even when they could not verbalize anything. I watched my kids' actions because I had happy children. So if I pulled up at a daycare and my child, I know sometimes kids don't want to leave their mothers, but I knew my kids, even as babies, if I pulled up at the daycare and they started screaming and crying, then I started thinking about, okay, it's maybe it might be time to change. If I started taking them in and they started seeing a certain teacher, their daycare teacher, and they just started falling out, I knew it was time to go in, because I was not gonna, I didn't want to have to unload on no daycare teacher about my kids. Okay. So but when I, you know, finally the last daycare that they was in, it was a really good daycare. And I don't care if my daughters were not even feeling it that day, you know, as babies. When and lay their head on the shoulder, even if they didn't want to be there, I knew that my kids were being, you know, treated right. So we have to pay close attention to kids, and just imagine autistic children who cannot verbalize. You know, they're getting all of these injuries, you know, just like any child. Basically, they're like babies too, because you know, a lot of them have the mental capacity of a baby because they're autistic, and they cannot verbalize what is happening or what has happened to them. Okay. So anyways, hey, I hope they do something about it. They probably, you know, when they get through with these lawsuits, and I'm sure those families are gonna get something. When they get through with these lawsuits, you know, the charges, they might up them charges on her. And you know, hey, it was just wrong. It, you know, according to what they were saying, broken um teeth and stuff knocked out and broken bones and stuff. Oh my God, y'all. That is absolutely crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And we saw the video. The thing about it is they don't have to lie on her because they got video of her doing these things. Okay. But anyways, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.